Stop where the street grew quiet, where the city forgot its sound. A pale blue light on the corner, like time slowing down. The night was wide and patient, it didn't ask my name. It felt like I could disappear and nothing would complain. For a moment I wanted nothing, no future, no next place, just the calm of standing still in that empty space. The air was cold but gentle, like it knew my pace, like it understood why I needed grace. The woods held my breath, the dark felt kind. It asked me softly to leave the world behind, but I had miles still waiting there, promises I couldn't spare. I wanted to stay forever inside that quiet frame, where loss didn't hurt so much and love had no name. But something pulled me forward, not loud, not unkind, like a clock that keeps on moving even when you fall behind. I thought of you for a second, not in pain, not in blame, just the way a memory floats without asking you to explain. The snow hadn't touched the ground yet, but I knew it eventually would, and I knew I couldn't stay there, even if I could. The woods held my breath, the dark felt kind. It asked me softly to leave the world behind, but I had miles still waiting there, promises I couldn't spare. So I stood there counting seconds, listening to nothing at all, learning how silence speaks when it doesn't call. There's a strange kind of healing in not choosing right away, in letting the moment hold you before you walk away. And maybe that's what love becomes when the noise is gone. Not a fire, not a storm, just a quiet going on. I took one step forward, then another slow and sure, not because I was ready, but because I had to endure. The woods held my breath, the dark stayed kind. It kept my sadness out of time. And when I left, I understood some pieces found by moving through. I didn't look back for answers, I didn't ask the night to stay. I let the quiet keep its shape and gently walked away. I didn't follow your shadow, I didn't call you back. I learned that love can be gentle when it knows how to step back. There were so many words I could have thrown in the air, but I was afraid they might land and make things harder to bear. So I chose something quieter, something easy to miss, like leaving a window half open or forgetting a kiss. I left my feelings on the road where your footsteps fade, not as a promise, not as a question, just a choice I made. Flowers without names on the edge of the night, not asking you to return, not asking you to stay right. Flowers without names, play softly down. If you ever look back once, you'll know what they were about. I didn't say you hurt me, even if sometimes you did, because pain doesn't always need a voice to prove it exists. There's a way of loving that doesn't raise its tone, that doesn't turn sadness into a weapon or stone. I held my heart carefully like something breakable and small. Not everything that matters needs to be shown at all. I watched the night move slowly like it understood my pace. I let the silence sit with me without rushing to erase. Flowers without names on the edge of the night, not a message, not a sign, just a quiet kind of light. Flowers without names, where your shadow goes. If you ever wonder who I was, you'll know, you'll know. Some people think love should shout, should knock on every door, but love can also stand still and ask for nothing more. It can wish you well from a careful distance. It can choose dignity over insistence. So if the wind remembers, if a song feels strangely kind, if you feel calm without knowing why, on some random night there will be me, not calling you back, just standing where I was and letting love stay intact. Flowers without names, still here somehow, not fading, not blooming, just resting now. I don't need to be missed, I don't need to be known, I just needed to love you once and let that be enough alone. I stood between two thoughts tonight. Neither one was wrong. One whispered, turn around. The other just moved on. I've learned how loud the past can be when you give it a stage. So I dimmed the lights inside my head and closed another page. There were reasons to go back, there were reasons to stay, but reasons don't always know how much a heart can take. So I chose the quiet road, not the one that shines, not the one that proves I was right this time. I chose the quiet road, where no one keeps the score, where love doesn't ask me to be anything more. I didn't make a promise, I didn't draw a line. I just stopped asking yesterday to explain my life. Some doors are not locked, they're simply left alone. And peace arrives when you stop knocking and learn to walk home. The streetlights didn't judge me, they just stayed where they were. I passed them one by one, feeling lighter with each blur. The noise I used to carry didn't follow me here. It stayed behind politely like it understood fear. I chose the quiet road, not because I forgot, but because remembering was costing too much. I chose the quiet road, where the nights are plain, where healing doesn't perform, and nothing needs a name. I learned that letting go is not a sudden release, it's choosing the same answer again and again in peace. It's waking up and saying, today I won't reopen it. It's knowing when to leave a thought unfinished, incomplete. I don't need to justify the calm I finally found. I don't owe the past an encore, another round. So if you ask me where I went when I stopped trying to explain, I took the road that doesn't echo, the one that doesn't call my name. I chose the quiet road, and it chose me too. It didn't ask for courage, it just asked me to move. And now the night feels wider, not empty, not afraid, just open enough to let tomorrow wait. I wrote your name 100 times in places you would never see, on fogged up glass, on quiet nights, inside unfinished melodies. I folded every sentence small so it wouldn't take up space. I didn't want my honesty to feel like it invaded you. There were words I kept for later, then forgot what later meant. They stayed inside my chest too long and learned how to be silent. I never sent the letters, I never sealed the truth, not because it wasn't real, but because I cared for you. I never sent the letters, they were heavy, they were kind. They didn't need a destination, they just needed time. I practiced conversations that never left my head. I chose the quiet every time instead of what I could have said. Some truths don't want an answer, they don't want to be resolved, they just want to sit beside you until the feeling dissolves. I was afraid that if I spoke you might feel you had to stay, and love should never feel like guilt or something you must repay. So I swallowed all the endings that demanded to be heard, and learned that love can live between the lines of unspoken words. I never sent the letters, I let them fade to gray. They were written for a version of us that couldn't find a way. I never sent the letters, but they taught me how to choose, how to let a feeling pass without demanding to be used. Sometimes I still hear them late at night, half awake. They don't accuse, they don't insist, they don't ask me what to dreams aren't regrets, they're proof I didn't run, that I stayed long enough to feel even when the ending came undone. I let them stay unfinished, I let them lose their form. They became a kind of weather that passes through, not storms. I never sent the letters, and I think that's why I'm free. Some things are meant to be carried, not delivered, not seen. If you ever feel a calm you can't explain or trace, that might be all the words I never placed. I don't need to be stronger tonight, I don't need to pretend I'm okay. I can sit with the weight of the dark and still let the morning wait. There were days I held my breath like the world was asking too much. I learned how to keep moving without calling it courage or such. I don't have to win my thoughts, I don't have to make them behave. Some feelings don't need fixing, they just need space. If I stay like this, quiet and slow, not asking the night where it's trying to go. If I stay like this, nothing to prove, I might finally hear what my heart already knew. I've been hard on myself before for not healing fast enough, as if pain were a schedule, as if love were rough. But healing doesn't knock, it arrives when it wants. Sometimes it's just breathing, sometimes it's not. I can leave some questions open, I don't owe them a reply. I can trust that being gentle is another way to try. If I stay like this, unarmed away, letting thoughts come in, letting some escape. If I stay like this, I won't fall apart. I'll learn how to stand inside my heart. There were promises I broke, only to myself. Like tomorrow will be better, like I'll be someone else. But tonight I choose honesty over shiny, over new. I choose being here over becoming someone I'm not meant to be soon. The past can speak if it wants, silence. I won't argue, I won't chase. I'll listen like a quiet room that keeps no trace. If I stay like this, still and kind, I won't outrun what's already mine. If I stay like this, breathing through, I'll be enough, just making it through. I don't need applause for the nights I survive. I don't need a reason to still be alive. Sometimes staying is the bravest move. Not shining, not changing, just choosing to continue. So I'll sit here a while with nothing to fix, learning how to live. If I stay like this. I don't miss you the way I used to. Not with weight, not with ache. You don't pull at my nights anymore. You don't keep me awake. You arrive like a soft detail in a room I know well, like a chair by the window, like a story I don't tell. There was a time your name carried thunder inside. Now it rests like a thought I no longer have to hide. I remember you, not in pain, not in need, just the way one remembers a place they once lived. I remember you like a season that passed. Not everything meant to last was meant to collapse. Sometimes your laugh returns in the middle of a song. It doesn't stop my breathing, it doesn't stay long. I don't wonder where you are or who you might be with. Those questions learn to fade like words I didn't miss. What stayed was never the ending, it was how the days felt calm, how love didn't need to shout to feel warm. I remember you, not to reopen the door, just to honor the fact that we were something before. I remember you without reaching back, like reading an old line and letting it rest intact. The night doesn't change when you cross my mind. It just keeps its shape, stays gentle, stays kind. And I think that's how I know I've finally grown through the moment love becomes a quiet thank you. I remember you, and then I breathe, and then the moment moves past me. No ache, no plea, no unfinished view, just a soft understanding that I once loved you. I'm not healed, not completely, but I'm lighter than before. The night doesn't press on my chest the way it did once more. There's a pale line on the window, morning, thinking about coming in. I'm still here with the quiet, letting the dark finish what it began. I don't rush this feeling, I don't name it yet. Some things arrive gently when you don't try to set them straight. I made peace with the waiting, with not knowing what's next. I stopped asking the silence to promise me rest. Before the morning decides what kind of day I'll be, I sit with the in-between and let it sit with me. Before the morning decides if I'm strong or just okay, I allow myself to be exactly this way. There were nights I needed answers, needed proof I would survive. Now I just need the moment to feel honestly alive. I don't replay the old scenes, they've learned how to fade like photos left too long in light. Losing shape, losing weight, I stand up slowly as if not to wake my fear. I tell it's all a fleet, you don't have to come with me from here. Before the morning decides what stays and what moves on, I breathe like there is no rush, like the clock hasn't started yet at dawn. Before the morning decides if I'm ready to begin, I stay right here where ending and starting blur within. The world can wait a minute, it always asks too much. I'm learning how to enter days without armor, without clutch. If the past knocks quietly, I'll hear it, then I'll choose not to open every door just because I used to. Before the morning decides, I give myself this grace to be unfinished, to move at my own pace. I'm not healed, not completely, but I'm no longer lost. I've learned the shape of standing after counting the cost. So when the light finally arrives, I won't need it to explain, I'll simply let it find me and step into the day. I woke up without the weight pressing down on my chest. The room felt almost friendly, like it wished me the best. Nothing magical happened, no sudden change of view, just a quiet realization I made it through. I still carry some shadows, they don't scare me now. They walk a step behind me, they don't ask me how. I don't rush the feeling, I let it come and go like light through thin curtains, moving soft and slow. I'm a little lighter than yesterday, not enough to fly away, but enough to stand and breathe and trust the ground beneath. I'm a little lighter than yesterday, I don't need to say I'm okay, I just notice how the air doesn't feel as heavy there. address, but it doesn't visit long. It learned I won't invite it to stay all night long. I stopped rehearsing endings, I stopped fixing my tone. I learned how to sit with silence and let it feel like home. There's a calm in doing nothing and not proving I've grown. Sometimes healing whispers when you leave it alone. I'm a little lighter than yesterday. I don't ask why or pray, I just take the morning as it comes and let it gently stay. I'm a little lighter than yesterday, still unfinished, still okay. I don't need a finish line, just another honest day. If tomorrow brings a shadow, I won't turn and run. I know now how to hold it until it's done. I don't promise I'll be fearless, I don't promise I'll be brave. I just promise I'll keep walking at a pace I can sustain. I'm a little lighter than yesterday, and that feels like enough today. The cup on the table, the clock on the wall, they're doing the same things they always did before. Nothing asks for meaning, nothing needs a sign. The world keeps being simple, and that feels kind. I notice small details I used to rush past, like how the room breathes slowly when I don't ask it to last. There's comfort in routine, in things that don't explain, in mornings that arrive without mentioning my pain. Ordinary things still shine when you let them be, not bright enough to blind you, just enough to see. Ordinary things still shine in their quiet way. They don't promise happiness, they just stay. I wash my hands, dry the glass I fold yesterday away. Not because it's finished, just because it's done for today. The street outside keeps moving, people laugh, people wait. No one knows my history and I like it that way. I don't need every moment to feel deep or new. Some peace is found in the things that simply do. Ordinary things still shine, like a chair, like a song. They don't ask me who I was, they just let me belong. Ordinary things still shine when the noise is gone. They hold the shape of living when you carry on. future. I don't frame the past, I let the middle happen and let it last. If joy comes quietly, I won't question why, I'll let it sit beside me like the open sky. Ordinary things still shine, not louder, not more. They don't heal everything, they don't need to anymore. They teach me how to live again without asking for proof, just by being ordinary and being true. I see people passing by like I never did before. Not as stories, not as answers, just lives moving forward. Someone's waiting for a bus, someone's late, someone's free. All these moments happening without noticing me. There was a time I felt invisible, or maybe too exposed. Now I'm just another face on an ordinary road. I don't wonder where they're going, I don't ask them who they are. I like the way the world exists without leaving a scar. People passing by carry things I'll never know. Some are heavy, some are light, some will stay, some will go. People passing by don't remind me what I lost, they remind me I'm still here at an acceptable cost. I hear fragments of laughter, a phone call ending fast, a door closing somewhere, letting go of the past. The city feels alive again, not loud, not demanding, just steady in its rhythm, patient understanding. I don't feel behind anymore, I don't feel ahead, I'm exactly where my feet are, and that's enough instead. People passing by don't ask me to explain, they don't know my history, and I don't feel the need to name. People passing by teach me something kind, that life keeps moving gently even when your heart takes time. I walk a little slower, letting moments pass. Not everything needs holding, not everything needs to last. There's comfort in anonymity, in being one among many breathing, many living, many quietly moving on. People passing by like waves without a shore, they don't pull me under, they don't ask me for more, they just remind me softly as the afternoon goes by that I'm allowed to be here, and let the moment pass me by. I'm sitting with the afternoon, doing nothing at all, not waiting for a message, not leaning on a wall. The light moves on the floor like it has nowhere to be. And for the first time in a while, that feels right to me, yeah. I used to ask the hours what they were trying to say. Now I let them pass me by without asking them to stay. There's no lesson in this moment, no hidden point to find, just a cup cooling slowly in a quiet mind. This afternoon has no meaning, and that's the beauty of it. Nothing needs to happen, nothing needs to fit. This afternoon has no meaning, no memory to save. It doesn't ask for courage, it doesn't ask for grace. I hear the city breathing in a rhythm I don't chase. Cars passing far away, time moving at its own pace. I don't feel the urge to change or rewrite who I've been. I let myself exist between the outs and ins. Some piece of rest disguised as boredom, plain and still. It stays when you don't name it, when you don't bend it to your will. This afternoon has no meaning, and I don't give it one. I don't need to turn this quiet into something I've won. This afternoon has no meaning, and I finally agree that living doesn't always have to speak loudly to me. I stretch my arms, I breathe again. The room stays where it is. Nothing feels unfinished now, nothing feels like a risk. If joy comes later, I won't ask where it's been. I'm content right now in this ordinary, gentle in between. This afternoon has no meaning, and somehow that feels kind, like the world isn't asking anything of my mind. The day leans back a little, like it's done enough. The light grows soft around the edges, nothing feels too rough. I didn't solve my life today, I didn't reach the end. I just lived inside the hours and let them gently bend. There's a warmth in how things slow, in how the shadows stretch. The world doesn't need my answer, it doesn't need my best. I feel no urge to hurry, no fear of falling behind. The clock keeps time politely, leaving me unwound. This light before the evening doesn't ask my name. It settles on my shoulders all the same. This light before the evening knows when to stay. It doesn't promise tomorrow, it just blesses today. I watch the colors soften on buildings, trees and skin. Everything looks kinder when the rush wears thin. think about what's missing. I don't count what's left. I let the quiet gather what the day has kept. There's comfort in the middle, between done and not yet, where nothing needs explaining and nothing's a regret. This light before the evening feels earned, not claimed, like rest that finds you without being named. This light before the evening holds me where I stand. It says you made it here without demanding a plan. If night comes slowly, I won't mind at all. I've learned how to trust the gentle fall. I'll carry this softness with me when the sky turns blue, not as a shield, just as a truth. This light before the evening will fade, I know, but it leaves something steady in its glow. The lights come on one by one, like they've been waiting. No announcement, no reason, just quietly arriving. The day doesn't follow me in, it stays outside the door. I don't owe it anything now, I've given up before. There's a calm in small movements, a chair pulled close, a window half open, a breath I chose. I don't replay the hours, I don't count what went right. I let the room take me in as the world turns into night. Evening lights on, nothing left to prove. The day can rest now, so can you. Evening lights on, no need to explain, just a softer way to remain. The street sounds settle lower, like they've learned my name. Cars pass without urgency, everything feels the same. I take off what I was wearing all day in my head. The plans, the pressure, the things I never said. What matters fits the room now, what doesn't fades away. I don't need tomorrow to bless today. Evening lights on, I'm still here. That's enough for this hour, for this near. Evening lights on, I don't chase, I let time set its pace. If the night brings memories, they can't sit and stay. They don't have to speak, they don't have to wait. I've learned how to share space with thoughts that come and go. They don't own the evening, they just pass through slow. The lights stay warm and steady, they don't ask me why. They to hold it all. I don't need to name this feeling, I don't need to know, I just let the evening be and let myself slow. I don't say thank you out loud, I don't need the words tonight. The feeling sits somewhere deeper, soft and light. Nothing remarkable happened, no miracle, no sign, just hours that didn't hurt, just time. I think that's enough for one day to give, to move through the world and still feel alive. Quietly thankful without a reason why, not for the future, not for what passed by. Quietly thankful for the way things stayed, for the spaces between moments that didn't ask to be saved. I'm thankful for the pauses that didn't turn into fear, for the way the room feels honest when no one's here, for the sound of nothing breaking, for the weight of being still, for learning how to let a moment be what it is, not what it should be or will. I don't count my blessings, I don't line them up, I let them exist loosely, unlabeled enough. Quietly thankful for the ordinary calm, for the heart not racing, for the open palm. Quietly thankful for tonight's small grace, for not needing answers, for knowing my place. The sky outside darkens slowly, like it understands that some endings don't need a final stand. I let the evening hold me without asking it to stay. I trust the night to take over in its own way. Quietly thankful, not proud, not relieved, just present enough to breathe. Quietly thankful before sleep decides what I'll carry forward into tomorrow's light. I don't need more, I don't need less. I'm quietly thankful, and I let the rest. I didn't ask you to speak, the words were too sharp for the night. I was afraid they would break while we're still breathing inside. So I kept them folded away like letters never said. I watched your shadow move on and pretended that's what I meant. There are good days that don't need a sign. Some loves learn silence before they learn how to drown. I let you go without a scene, no tears falling in between, just quiet roads and dim street lights holding my heart for the night. I let you go, soft and slow, like you were never mine to hold. If love is real and knows a way to walk alone and still stay kind, I lay my feelings down where your footsteps disappeared. Not as a promise, not as a plea, just something gentle left here. I smiled so I wouldn't cry because tears felt too loud. Some endings deserve a mercy that isn't proud. If I turn back, I might fall apart. So I face the dark and call it art. I let you go with open hands, no questions left to understand. Just one last breath in the air we share, and a love too quiet to demand. I let you go into the blue, hoping the world is kind to you. If you remember, let it be light. Not every love was meant to fight. Maybe one day you'll stop somewhere unfamiliar. The street, the song, the passing name, and feel something you can't explain. That will be me, not calling you back, just standing still inside a memory you kept. I didn't win, I didn't lose, I simply loved the way I knew. Now the night will slowly on, like it understands my pace. I carry nothing but the calm of heaven loved with praise. The past doesn't hurt so much when you don't chase its sound. Some hearts are meant to stay unbroken by learning how to let go gently now. I let you go, that's my reply to all the words we left behind. No blame, no fear, no lasting end, just a quiet truth. There will be no if you ever wonder who loved you then without a reason, without an end, just more